So let's face it, in the South, there are basically two seasons, football season and football off season. So as we wrap up our trip around the Division II football programs in the area, we're going to head out to Emory and Henry College. They've already wrapped up spring football for the season and are looking ahead to the summer and then into next year. Curt Newsome is the longtime head coach of the Wasp. He has helped see the transition from Division III to Division II football. So when I sat down with Curt, I wanted to know a few things. First of all, I want to know how the spring went. Obviously, they're really trying to amp up their game and become more competitive in the SAC, the South Athletic Conference, which they joined a couple of years ago. And I also wanted to know how recruiting has changed for them. When they were a Division III school, they didn't get any money. They didn't get any scholarships. So recruiting was much different than it is now, where they're not only giving away scholarship, but Newsome told me they actually have a little bit of NIL money. So I was really interested to see how that was affecting their team. Third thing I wanted to know is, what are their expectations for the summer? Now that they are Division II, are they doing more summer workouts? Do they have more kids on campus during the summer? What are they doing this summer to improve their team? And then the final thing I wanted to know was about expectations. Curt's been there a long time. He's had success. He's had some down years. Last year was kind of an okay season for them. They're still trying to get used to being in Division II. But I really wanted to know what the Wasps expect that they can do, not just this year, but going forward in the conference. So here's my sit down with Emory and Henry head coach Curt Newsome. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about spring football. We caught up with all the other Division II football coaches in the area, just talk about how their spring went. I know this is like your second or third year officially as a Division II program doing like official spring football. I know you did some spring stuff when
Right.
D3, but official kind of spring football stuff. So how do you think it went? Were there things that you saw that were better compared to previous years doing this?
Yeah, I think so. I think we get better each year. We take out what we really liked from the spring before. And as you mentioned in Division III, we were no pads and no helmets at one time. And now it's real life football. And so, it's a much better evaluation than it used to be. And that's kind of what we use it for. We had a lot of players that had redshirted, so we didn't have a lot of film on them. So that was what we used the spring for.
So have there been challenges maybe that you didn't anticipate in D2 compared to Division III for your program?
Well, initially the level and talent, especially on the offensive and defensive lines, up to that, I think that was the initial challenge. Somebody would have told me the first 2 years you're going to play in a league with Lenore Ryan and Carson Newman and those people, and you're going to end up, 5-6. Probably would have taken it. I hate to say that we would take 5-6, but the transition is different, and I don't think I'd take that anymore. I think we're at a different level, and hopefully that shows on the field next season.
How much does it change the way you approach the recruiting in the offseason? Because I know on the Division I level that's changed a ton with NIL, but I assume that there's probably some repercussions that have trickled down to your level as far as how you approach recruiting.
Yeah, it's changed. In Division I, you add the NIL with the age they start recruiting them, which is the biggest difference. I remember recruiting Bucky Hodges at Virginia Tech, and he was coming out of the 8th grade into the 9th grade, and we've got him on campus. So that's a little bit different, and that's extremely different than Division II. But, recruiting in Division II, you do start earlier. That's one of the things. But it allows you to recruit places that we haven't been able to recruit across the state of Virginia, because we do, offer scholarships. And we do have a limited amount of NIL money, which affords us the opportunity to get some players we may not be able to talk to.
So is that different? I mean, how many Division II teams that you're recruiting against have NIL money?
I would say over half this league, and our pot of money is not a huge amount, but I think anytime you offer a Division II young man something, I think it means something to them. If they can go out to Pizza Hut whenever they want to and skip a meal at the calf, I think it intrigues them. So it's nice to have. We've had some support from some local businesses, and we've used a little bit of it to this point, but and we will try to use it when we do use it. Of course, I can't say where the money goes, but you would prefer it be a transfer and not someone coming from high school.
Gotcha. So when you look at your roster coming out of the spring, where is the improvement? Where do you think you guys are going to be stronger this year compared to last year?
I think one of the big differences, we play a lot of teams south of us, and Saturdays south of us are warm. And I think our depth issue on the defensive line has been a major issue. Anytime we've played in hot weather, and I don't think it's because our number ones have not been in shape. I just think, certain positions need a rest during a game, and we haven't been able to do that. So this spring, that was the evaluation. We wanted to find guys that we felt like could give us 15 to 20 snaps a game and make us a better football team for 4 quarters. So, I think we did that. We've got 10 starters back on defense. We've got 8 starters back on offense. And when we finish the spring this year, we only have 4 seniors on the roster. So, I mean, we've got a young team that's very experienced, which I think is a positive.
So what's the focus this summer? What do you need to accomplish between now and when you open up fall camp?
I think we bring in a lot of them in the summer, and you can't use scholarship money. You have to use fundraised money, and we do that. And I think the summer is all about getting bigger, faster, and stronger. And I don't think they can do that when they go home. So getting as many on campus for the summer to work out together, create a pecking order of leaders at that time. I think the summer may be one of the most important phases of a college football player's life.
Awesome. So what's the expectation for next season? Like, what do you guys think that you can accomplish?
Oh, I think we definitely need to improve on our record. That's number one. That's hard for a coach to say. You don't usually like to put yourself behind the 8 ball, but I think we're going to have a better football team than we had a year ago, and that needs to show up on Saturdays. So, improvement record-wise, just being more competitive with the top shelf teams in this league, and I think we're to that point where we can do that.